Catastrophic and devastating. That is how some riders are describing the SEPTA budget approved yesterday. The focus now turns to Harrisburg as hundreds of thousands of riders wait to see if state lawmakers can reach a deal to fund the struggling transit agency. Now, the budget calls for a 45% reduction in service that will stop bus routes and eliminate some regional rail service. It will also increase fares by 21.5% with the state budget deadline looming. NBC 10's Deanna Durante spoke with riders and lawmakers who say getting mass transit the money it has requested is no easy task. She is live at the Kenwood train station, one of those lines that would be cut. Deanna.
And that seems unimaginable to people who depend on this line as well as other regional rail lines that are on the chopping block. Now, SEPTA says right now it has no choice but to make these cuts. For months, we've seen rallies, speeches, and the stories of what SEPTA cuts would do for folks who live and work in southeastern Pennsylvania.
This would be an unimaginable crisis.
And while those voices have been heard by lawmakers who don't represent southeastern PA, they say there just isn't money available to fund SEPTA the way that it's asking.
My two transit agencies say there's a disproportionate per capita amount of money going to SEPTA.
Republican State Senator Chris Dush says his district holds two other mass transit agencies that also need funds.
We've got to keep things level funded.
He says residents have reached out to him over SEPTA funding, but says the rest of the state has needs that are to be funded as well.
If Philadelphia were to get its house in order and allow us to grow, everybody in Pennsylvania would benefit.
Riders in SEPTA say the southeastern section is vital to the rest of the state's growth. We checked Philadelphia and its four surrounding counties make up 1/3 of the state population and nearly 1/4 of the income tax collected by employers.
The most vital, economically diverse and dynamic aspect of this entire state, which is the metro Philadelphia area, will be in ruin. I cannot see how people would stay here with this transportation fiasco if it happens, and that will directly impact the rest of the state.
SEPTA says it's planning for the worst-case scenario if it doesn't get its funding request at all, and says without a state budget, it's hard to determine what can come back with whatever state funding comes through.
We're going to move ahead. We're going to start the plan. If something develops between now and August 24th, depending on when, I don't want to put a firm date on it because it does take us time to change course.
Now, lawmakers tell me that the state is already running at a deficit and will continue to do so as they search for other revenue streams to pump into the economy. Now, the budget deadline is July 1st, but lawmakers say they foresee talks going beyond that deadline. Reporting live in Kenwood, Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.